Mary Jane Buford once said, "There are things that we can understand and control, and then there's the wildness of the unknowable." Mary Jane lives in Seattle, Washington, and has her master's degree in fine arts. So the idea behind my speech that I'm about to tell you is that there are many obstacles that we must overcome throughout our lives, and everybody has to face them. However, with as difficult as some of mine have been, I'm thankful for them, because without them, I wouldn't be who I am, and I wouldn't have the things that I do. And the reason that I chose this quote is just because obviously there are things we have control over in our lives, and then there are things that we are unsure of, so for example, the future. So now I'm going to tell you 3 short stories about some stuff that has happened in my life to mold me into the person that I am today. The first story is that whenever I was 8 years old, my mother unexpectedly passed away. So my father took over both parental roles, and since it was just me, my dad and my brother, I didn't get a whole lot of girl time, so I was very tomboyish and weird. And then
Weird.
a little later down the road, he met the woman who is now my stepmother, which leads me to my second story, which is just simply adjusting to my new life. So whenever they got married, we moved out into the country, which was a pretty big transition for me because I'd always lived in town, and I could walk across the street to my best friend's house or walk down the road and play at the park. And now that I'm out here, we don't really have that. And whenever we moved out here, my stepmother obviously brought her children with her, and she has 4 sons, and I already had 1 brother, so now I have 5 brothers, which can get a little crazy and noisy, but I like to say that it builds character. And then the third story that I want to share with you has absolutely no relation to the other stories, but it has impacted me in a way. And so that third story is just traveling. Back in the summer of 2014, I was privileged to travel throughout Germany. I spent a week in Germany, and we went all through different cities, and I got to experience a lot of different things. And whenever we were there, we saw a lot of beautiful stuff, and one being the Berlin Wall. And I also got to tour a concentration camp, which was a very humbling experience. And just recently, back in March, I was privileged to travel again to Italy. And again, I got to see a lot of different beautiful stuff in architecture. And my favorite thing was the Colosseum. And I chose traveling as my third story because I believe that it's helped me to be open-minded whenever it comes to other cultures. It helps to remind us that there's more out there than just what we have here. And so, although I jumped around a little bit, I believe that these 3 stories should help you to understand as to who I am as a person and why I am this way. And to refer back to my quote, whenever Mary Jane says that there are things that we can understand and control, I gave examples of some things in my life that I've had control over. For example, traveling and adjusting to my new life. I had control over my attitude towards adjusting. And then whenever Mary Jane said there's the wildness of the unknowable, I told about how I had things happen in my life that was unexpected and how we reacted from that. And now I just want to say thank you to google.com/books and goodreads.com/authors for the information. So thank you.